G'day guys, Unfrequented World, and today we're going to go out and hit the trail in search of anomalies. We're going to look for broken sticks, leaning sticks, or structures, or anything that's out of the ordinary, crossed sticks. I get asked all the time after we put out the parabolic dish, do you go look for tracks? Do you look for broken things? And I do. So today we're going to do that together. We're going to search the trail just for strange looking things and see if we can find anything that stumps even myself. I'll try not to be too analytical. Good luck with that, because that's just the way I am, but let's go for a walk and see what we can find. We got our first tree that's pulled down. This one right here. I'm leaving Analytical Gary out of this. This will be up to you guys to just decide what is what. I'm just going to show you. Here is our first tree pulled over. What's holding it down? Really? Nothing. It's not hooked on anything over there. It's just got a mighty curve to it. I'm not sure why. And that's, you know, right here in the backyard. It's like twisted. Right here on the trail, twisted off, number one. Right here, number two, we can see a bunch of stuff that's kind of pushed down. Actually, right there is a big stack of stuff all leaning against a tree. Why? I don't know. Analytical Gary just looks at stuff like that and says it's natural, but you tell me what. Actually, that doesn't, it does have a little weird look to it. Looks like they were all placed against that tree, but how or why? Don't ask me. I'm just showing you things on the trail. So all of that's right here in the first 50 steps down the trail. I have an open mind. That's why I'm showing you guys the stuff that's here. It's open so that at least I would consider that there's something weird going on. I mean, we've seen lots of weird stuff back here. I don't know. But in all honesty, I think it's natural. It's snow, it's whatever. I mean, it's weird, some of it. How do you get that one tree that bends over when all the rest of them aren't? And it's not like they have big amounts of top end that the snow can fill up and push them over. So I don't know. I can't explain that. And it's not like other trees have fallen on them and pushed them over, so I don't know. I'll admit it's weird, but I think it's natural. But so here's another one that's wedged between a tree. So did that just fall in there? I mean, it could have. I don't know. So, natural debris pile. Sure, there's a lot of loose ends right there sticking up. I don't know. There's 100 places that look just like this, you know? So it did snow this morning, only about an inch, but that covers all the tracks, so we can see anything that's new for sure. So we're 500 yards from the house now, and I saw these evergreens here, blue spruce. One's down right there, and there's another one right here. I just want to take a closer look at these. Why? Where did this... They're green, so they're not dead. Look at this. It's broken right off, but where is it broken from? That is a good question. So that's actually got to be the top of a tree. From up there somewhere. And I don't readily see where So where did that come from? Well, let's look at this actually. Okay, right here. One of these, that tree right there, is missing the top of it. So that tree right there is probably what dropped that. Probably. But then without touching anything here, this is broken off and sticking in the ground like a spear point down there, and it's frozen in there. So is that just, you know, some chaos from all of this stuff that's come crashing down? I would have to say yes. I don't know. Why, if that broke off of there, how did that end up there? Did the rabbits do it? It kind of looks like a rabbit house. You'd have to be a pretty small Bigfoot to get in that one. The rabbits must have built that. Again, I'm just pointing out some structures leaning on other structures. Bigfoot does not own a chainsaw, but Tom does. All right, one more just from the trail here. This one looks pretty big. But look at the bend on this sucker. That's a pretty big one. And really, it's just the balsam that's beside it here, all the little branches that it's hooked on. There isn't anything else holding it down. That's all kinds of these things. I mean, I don't know what's weird and what isn't. Look at this one, it's twisted. That's about 8 feet. And it's got a good twist to it. So I don't know. If I look hard enough, I could find weird things right on this trail. I would love to find something on this trail that just completely blows my mind. You know, stacked rocks or trees. The trees with the big ends up in the air, you know, making a teepee, something like that I've mentioned before. All of that stuff, I would say, is compelling. What I see here around me and on this trail is all random nature. It's basically winter chaos. Things falling down, getting blown down. And I'll just show you guys right here in front of me. If you were to look at this scene, there's so much going on there. You can't make heads or tails out of any of these structures. You know, how did they get there? What pushed what over? What had snow load on it? What didn't? There's a bunch of things hung up in this tree right here. You know, things tend to fall between other trees. I would guess that would have to be my statement on that, because we see that here over and over dozens of times. So that's just natural. Even though it's crossed between those trees and making the necks, you know, that's completely natural, I would say. And you're allowed to disagree. That's why I'm showing you guys this stuff. If I was a biased person, I just wouldn't bother showing you the trail and the surrounding conditions. I would just say, nope, there's nothing there to see. So today's video is simply just to point out anything and everything along the trail, and you guys decide for yourselves. Do you think it's squatchy? Do you think it's natural? Or option C. I don't know what option C is. Tell me down in the comments below. So this is actually split. Still very strong. And this one goes up and it bends over and it's now hooked onto another spruce up there. What caused this to split? I don't know. Then we get to sections of the trail like this where it's even thicker. So if you were to try to get out in through there, There's a ton of stuff broken, snapped, bent over. So we've got a couple of things going on here. Right here we've got rabbits have been eating the bark, chewing the bark off of here, down here on the ground. And this tree right here is missing all kinds of bark. This tree here and that tree right there. And I'll show you what this is. You can see the bark and you can actually see lines. Well, those are tooth marks. See all those little lines are tooth marks. Anyone hazard a guess as to what that is? We can see it right here as well. All kinds of lines right here. That's made from porcupine. So yeah, we have lots of porcupines here, especially out in the swamp, and that's what they do. They'll climb up the trees, you know, 7-8 feet, and they'll just feed right there where nothing else can get them. So porcupine. So another big spruce leaned right over. Now that could very much be snow load because there is a lot of branches with needles up there that would have held snow. So that one I would say could be snow load. Okay, so now this is weird. I'm gonna admit, guys, I've kind of shut you down a little bit here. I've got one here that's weird. I'm gonna turn the camera around because looking at my confused face isn't gonna help you decipher this. So we've got this big curve here. This one is bent over. And this actually is the exact spot. This corner is where the dog freaked out there a week ago. So look at that curve and look at this. This one looks as if it's been placed here. And it's holding that down. And I don't see, at first I thought this one broke off and fell over top of that one. I see two little ones that are broken right there and right there. But I don't know where this big one came from. So I will admit that one is odd. If we look at this scene, and I don't know if you guys can see this, this whole thing is weird. There's two little ones here that are broken and two more up here that are broken. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's a little shiny piece of white right there, and then there's another one in behind. So there are four. So this one, this tree right here is broken. And the one right behind it, that one right there is broken. And then we've got two, that one right there is broken. And this one right here is broken. So four of them are snapped off up there. And what makes it strange is there's the granite pile I showed you guys. So we are right on that corner where Gage freaked out. So this is kind of like a spot where people talk about the marking trails and things. I'm not saying that that's what that is, but it's definitely a strange place to have the weirdest find of the day right on that corner where the dog freaked out.